I was hoping you'd show up soon. Is it done? If you've got some morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you. And the truth is, in this industry, this is about as fair as it gets. Laredo is far from squeaky clean, and believe me, we've got our own eyes out for their moves as well. Now, I think it's time to examine a different set of skills. We expect our employees to self-manage when it comes to breaks. I recommend taking a moment whenever you feel that stress may be getting the better of you. Just be mindful of your time. This job requires a clear head. Good. This next assignment could be a little more flexible than the others. Your next assignment is to find a security chief and use some creative thinking to obtain their security keycard. And when I say creative, I don't mean with a weapon. Either look the part and be persuasive, or be quick with your hands. A security chief isn't going to give the time of day to just anybody. A nice suit should do the trick. Or, who knows, some operatives are known to have a security guard uniform or two in their closet they can rely on. Just be careful. Getting caught could mean a mess, and cleanup isn't cheap. We just need some easy access to competitor security. Sometimes obtaining a legitimate form of access is preferred over brute forcing it. No corporation wears murder well around here. We may take some extreme measures, but the less mess, the better. Now, if you need to find yourself a hobby outside of work to do that, feel free. Just don't let anyone here know about it. I'm sure you'll be able to get that keycard without incident. Just remember, if anything does happen, it's up to you to bail yourself out.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
My next assignment can't start soon enough.
Got my eye on you.
This is the only... Interested in your imps? Here, have a look. See ya.
Greetings, pilot. This is Jiro Sugiyama, head of Paradiso Security. I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
We've arrived!
Hey.
Captain Sarah, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived.
Hey there.
No major incidents in a while. Let's hope it stays that way.
Hi there. Hello, welcome to Hotel Paradiso. You may continue inside to the main desk if you need to check in for your stay, or feel free to browse the shops along the promenade. Let me know if I can answer any questions you may have or help you in any other way. For that, you'll want to head inside, go to the main desk, and speak with Dirk. He'll be more than happy to guide you through the check-in process. Unfortunately, the beach is reserved for hotel guests only, and that goes for the entire planet's beaches. The Paradiso Group owns all land on Parima 2, so you must either be a resort guest or have prior authorization for any public or private beach use. But, and you didn't hear this from me, security rarely has the bandwidth to patrol outside the main resort. Ah, this is your first time here. That's exactly what it is. Paradiso prides itself on being the fanciest, most relaxing resort getaway in the galaxy. People from all over come here to bask in the sun, enjoy the all-natural beaches, explore, enjoy the local wildlife, and generally get pampered. Enjoy your stay at Paradiso.
No loitering. Now move it. Can I help you? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not big on doing favors for people I don't know. If it's an emergency, it sounds like you need to make time for those details. I thought I made myself clear. I'm not giving you my card. Yeah, okay, I get it. Fine, the key's yours. Just remember to bring it back, or I'm reporting you.
No one's going to care if I call out sick from work for another week, right?
We try to stay out of our guests' way, but we're always here if needed.
I love that Neon is powered by lightning strikes. It's, dare I say, shocking.
Hey there. Got that key card for me? Well, you work here, don't you? So, yeah, you probably would. Now we're talking. Not bad for a novice. I think you're ready to kick things up a notch, and your timing couldn't be better. You may as well question the entire corporate world at that point. Just think of what we do here as standard business practices. This next assignment requires a bit more discretion for 2 reasons. First, you'll be dealing with high-level executives, and second, you'll be in the Astra Lounge here in Neon. If you haven't already heard the name Benjamin Bayou, you'd better get familiar. The man runs Neon and has ties to anything significant here, including Ryujin. The trade tower is his baby, and the Astra Lounge is the heart and soul. You do anything to scar that and make a scene, I guarantee it'll come back to haunt us. I thought that might spark interest. Our techs failed to uncover a potential deal between Infinity Ltd and Quantum Synergies. Your job is to make sure that deal fails. Infinity Ltd is one of our aspiring competitors. They have products in several similar fields, ships and neuroamps being the exception. Quantum Synergies specializes in ship operating software. We don't consider them a major competitor since their product line is so narrow. If the two are meeting to work out a contract, that tells us Infinity must be looking to get into the ship business. And we'd like to delay that, if we can. That's what we're hoping for. You'll be speaking with Quantum Synergy's Executive Director Zola Adisa and their Financial Manager Arthur Cruz. I'll be giving you a dossier on both. I strongly suggest you read them for talking points. I suppose I can give you a brief rundown. We'll start with Zola. Zola is a born and bred executive. It runs in the family, so she's highly accustomed to an upper-class lifestyle. She's a narcissist who's also obsessed with public perception, both of her and Quantum Synergies. She wants to be associated with the latest and greatest, so she's drawn to innovation and quality. She's considered it, but she's next in line to be CEO over at Quantum. If she came here, she'd have to deal with stiff competition. As for her talking points, the key things to remember are, Infinity is the cheap version of Ryujin. They're a follower, not a leader, and they lack any sense of clear vision. Infinity has struggled with leadership and turnover for a long time now. Lucas Drexler is probably the 5th CEO they've had in the past few years. Plus, it's hard to keep good employees when much better corporations who will pay more are out there. They've launched several, but none survive long. Nothing that would be as big as neuroamps or grav drives. That's why they've taken to just following whatever trends companies like Ryujin set. If they can't make money off ingenuity, they can certainly sell someone a cheaper version of a more expensive product they may want. Infinity Ltd's strategy to make money is to cut cost on quality. You can compare any one of our products to theirs and see it almost instantly. Low-grade synthetics, flimsy thin materials, high energy usage, they issue at least 1 or 2 recalls a year. Just remember, you can refer to the dossier at any time as a refresher. Now, on to Arthur Cruz. Arthur is a self-made man, and he prides himself on that. He's a full package, having both an extremely good knack for numbers and knowing how to talk to people. As Quantum Synergy's financial manager, he's all about driving profit with as little risk as possible. He makes decisions based on facts and heavily researched trends. It sounds like the two of you could really hit it off. Arthur's a great talker, but even the best can lose an audience when finance is the topic. Talking points for Arthur are aimed at steering him toward Ryujin over Infinity Ltd. Ryujin's profits are 25.7% higher than Infinity's, even with a superior quality product. Infinity's profits are fabricated. They're one audit away from ruin. We have a history of being financially secure that's never wavered, and we have the legal and marketing teams to handle anything that might threaten that. We keep an extremely close eye on our competition. Thanks to operatives like you, that information is almost always at our disposal. Quantum Synergies is the top name in ship OS. Their reputation has allowed them to keep the best engineers on their payroll. We can't deny that working with them would be beneficial for us, and Arthur is our best bet in making that happen. Besides, an open collaboration gives us easier access to information we'd otherwise have to find a more clever means of discovering. Sounds like you're ready then. I'd still highly recommend reading the dossiers though. Sometimes bullet-pointed statements can stick out in minds easier than conversation. Exactly. Those lines are most likely to sway Zola and Arthur away from Infinity, not to mention give them a gentle nudge in our direction. The Infinity Ltd rep is Nina Hart. I'll also be giving you an altered version of her presentation to swap out with the original. We've changed several figures, just enough to cause sufficient confusion throughout their meeting. We got lucky on that one. Nina was making some last-minute changes to it at her own home and happened to save it to her personal data storage. Of course, we were able to access it, so we fabricated our own with new figures and put it on an Infinity Ltd slate. Assuming she's using an Infinity Ltd slate is a bit of a gamble, but one we're willing to take. If it's not on her person, it will be in the suite she has reserved. Suites are patrolled, so she'll believe it's secure. If you can't manage to get her room key or deal with the door itself, try Boone Morgan, the manager. Boone appreciates credits, if you know what I mean. Exactly. And that incompetence will be enough for them to further question this deal. Finally, I recommend dressing appropriately, so I've taken the liberty of having a suit made for you. We need absolute discretion on this one. I don't want any SSNN broadcasts about murder in the Astral Lounge. Got it? If you think you can do better, you're welcome to it. I suppose I can even provide you with a small allowance. Just keep in mind, business attire is preferred, club attire would be second to help blend in. Business executives aren't going to take advice from just anyone. Show up looking like an Ebbside street rat or mercenary for hire, and you're lucky if they'll even acknowledge you. I bet you are. Just remember to keep a low profile. Don't let the Astor Lounge distract you too much.
Over at Putney. She's too good for Neon. Sounds like she's trying to help someone or something. Honestly, I kind of tuned her out.
Seems like Crimson Fleet is everywhere these days.
So you can do your banking your own way. Yourself like a megacorp, megastar? Then jump on over to Neon.
All these years, and Bayou hasn't let this place slip a single notch. The man knows how to run a business. Well, I take that as a compliment. Coming from someone as well-dressed as yourself. You've either got great taste or great connections. Maybe even both. Tell me, you don't happen to work for Infinity Ltd, do you? Got something against Infinity, I take it. I'd love to hear your reasons why. That's an awfully big claim to make. You'd have to have some inside details on their operation. However, it does match some of my own research that I've been conducting into their finances. Aren't you the resourceful one? That number tracks with the insider details I've been getting. Interesting. Look, it was nice meeting you, and I quite enjoyed our little talk. But it sounds like I need to take another look at some data before I head into this presentation of theirs. See you around, and maybe next time I'll be doing business with you.
Someone came dressed to impress. Here on business, or just out to escape? Ah, same here. Nothing like a business trip paid in full, especially when there's good downtime. That would be Infinity Ltd. Risky, you say? By all means, enlighten me. Cheap is a word quantum synergy should never be associated with. I believed our team had thoroughly researched Infinity, but your comment gives me pause. Their instability was cited as a pain point, but one we could deal with as long as we maintained control of all joint projects. However, upheaval always comes with its own series of issues, delays, morale, public perception, and Drexler has yet to prove he can provide the consistency that I would prefer. Perhaps it really is more than I'm willing to undertake. A surprising conversation, and one I would never expect from someone such as yourself. I suppose the old saying, never judge a book by its cover, is appropriate here. It seems I have quite a bit to reconsider now. So it looks like the pleasure aspect of my trip needs to be postponed. Thank you for the insight.
I got them. What do you call them? Cons? Yeah, I got cons.
I have an important personal decision to make, but I need to discuss something with you first. Time to go?
moving. The scanners won't touch you.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. People joke, say those Peru sounds precious.
Line of equipment and accessories for all your everyday
Just the person I wanted to see. Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? You're a natural. I'm not just saying that because I hired you. The Astral Lounge can be overwhelming for some, with all its bells and whistles. Tie that in with manipulating people who are the equivalent of their boss's boss, most junior-level ops would start to show their cracks. Overall, not bad for your first high-profile assignment. You even earned yourself a bonus, which Lyndon was more than happy to give. Don't tell me you forgot already. Our financial guru? They're brilliant with numbers. Also, if you ever want an honest opinion about anything, just ask them. They're honest to a fault, and often give their opinion on something whether you want it or not. Only as common as the flawless assignments you pull off. No one wants to clean up a mess. It takes a toll on several departments, which is why we like to promote a clean assignment. I like to recommend something fun or shiny and new. You never know when life will take a turn, especially in this line of work. But no rest for the weary at Ryujin. We've got a decent backlog of assignments, and they just keep coming, so I hope you're still good to go. At least this next one will be a break from all the chatter.
Make it quick. I have a deadline. You're interrupting me. Is this time accounted for? We're on a strict schedule. I just want to make sure this impromptu meeting is properly tracked. Then I will remind you that the schedule exists for a reason, and we seem to be ignoring it. If time is money, then suffice to say Ms. Serrano would not be pleased with such a frivolous expenditure. Ms. Yuko Serrano? Senior Operations Specialist at Ryujin Industries? She's one of the heads of the department you're standing in. Hold on. I didn't say we should stop. And since you clearly have bandwidth to spare, maybe you can help me clean up a, minor indiscretion. I'm not at liberty to say. I will remind you of another common phrase, loose lips sink ships. So, be cautious around the office and discuss intel at your peril. We're each assigned shifts to assist operatives, ensuring coverage at all hours. Personally, I like to keep my circadian rhythms intact, early to rise, early to bed, as nature intended. Good. Let me give you some background. Recently, I've been assisting the impoverished in both Ebbside and the Underbelly. I pay for the occasional meal, clinic visit, or comfort. But I may have lost a slate in the process. I need you to locate and retrieve it for me. It's not a matter of trust, but one of time. I have little to spare. You do not. Pre-assignment intel for one of our operatives. The contents themselves aren't too sensitive, so if you're thinking of betraying me, they aren't worth much as leverage. My sloppiness is simply an embarrassment that I'd like to correct. Then we have an agreement. Good. Go to the underbelly and talk to the panhandler, Huang. Discarded items are her specialty, so she may have come across the slate herself. If you can manage to find it, bring it back to me, and I will pay you for the time. Perhaps I can best explain with an analogy. There is an aquatic species on Volai Epsilon, which, by cruel irony or test of metal, hatches on dry land. Only 1 in 10,000 make it to adulthood. Most are eaten, some simply die in the crawl to the ocean. Meanwhile, there is a similar species that is born in the water itself. They never make this journey and thus never know its hardship. Which begs the question, is that fair? In the natural world, I'd agree, but here, we can make a change. I know what you're thinking, and I am not what you'd call a bleeding heart. Moreover, I find the underbelly filthy and unsanitary. But I also believe in equity. I am well aware that my life came with a head start, so I try my best to balance the equation and bring the hatchlings to the water. Think what you will, but I don't have to approve of the notion. But as much as I dislike the underbelly, I will say this. It is a welcome change of pace. When you spend all day keeping secrets, a burden is placed on one's conscience. The time I spend volunteering sheds some of that weight. Contractually, yes, but I'd rather avoid the embarrassment. Normally, I do a good job of setting boundaries between work and life. This incident is an exception. As you were.
Word is the Borealis, you know, the DJ? Well, she's moping around because she lost something important.
Yeah. I know this place stinks.
If you got any spare creds, I can always take them off your hands. Hey, Chief, you got any creds you can spare? Thank you kindly. You're a class bass, you know that? I'll do my best to someday pay you back. Street's honor. This isn't a donation, it's an investment. About 6 years. I bet you could tell by how good I am at it. It took a lot of practice, and some work on my messaging. But if you got any feedback, Chief, I'd love to hear it. Sorry about that, Chief. It's a habit, you know? Crap, I did it again. Presently, no. Pastly, no. Futurely, it's a work in progress. Depends on how this fiscal quarter goes. But it's gonna take a lot for me to upgrade. I found a primo spot next to the trawl store. I got a roof over my head and all the garbage I can eat. I can't eat everything they throw out, but I can eat enough. You want to know the trade secrets, huh? I don't blame you. It's a lot like real estate. Location and timing are big. You gotta be visible, but not so much that people call the guards. Oh, I totally did. Found it in the dumpster right next to a half-eaten chunk. And it was perfect timing, really. You see, the other day, the wind got a nasty cough and blew away all of my business spreadsheets. But that won't happen with this slate. It's like wind resistant. I do. I write them on napkins you get from the eateries, and I use sauce packets for ink. It's not a perfect system, but it's pretty damn close. That would mean I don't have to start over. All right, deal. I lost them near the employee break area. Look for any papers near the ground, the tables, maybe even the roof. You find all 3 spreadsheets, and I'll give you the slate. Another day, another shift. Got any creds to spare? Wow, that's real class of you, Chief. A+ stuff. Now I can get my books sorted, executive style. As promised, your slate. Tell your techie friend I didn't peek inside. And even if I did, I don't know what half of it says anyway.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Not interested.
How goes the slate search? Any complications? There's always work to be done. Pace yourself, but make it a fast one. Well done. It seems assigning you to this task was time well spent. And as I said when we met, time is money. Hopefully these credits will serve as adequate compensation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an operative to debrief.